Zombies.
Zombies has a lot of challenges, and these challenges range from completing Easter eggs to completing boss fights or just playing with a very bad teammate.
Like this guy.
No, like you. All right. In today's video, we're going to be talking about mini bosses especially, and we're going to be starting with the bad ones that really just are a detriment to the game and kind of make your playstyle worse. Then we're going to be going into the medium ones where they don't really add anything, but they're not really that bad of an addition to the map. And then we're going with the good ones. And these are bosses that really add something to the map or just a needed challenge for that map.
That's what I'm saying.
So for the first category of bosses, we obviously have the bad ones. Now, this wouldn't be, a mini boss list if we didn't include the denizens from Transit. These guys, what are they? They jump on your head and they just scratch your eyes out. Like, why? They don't add anything. They stop you from exploring the map. What are you doing?
Scratching my eyes out.
Denizens just basically stop you from exploring the map, which obviously for a zombies game, that's not good. Stopping the player from actually exploring the map is, in my opinion, one of the biggest downfalls of zombies we've ever had. And with Transit, it is extremely apparent. I mean, you can't even visit town unless you want to, ride the bus, and that takes like 10 minutes because Ted's a bitch. So, I mean, altogether, like, Transit isn't good, and the denizens just make it worse, especially with the fog. Why is the fog there? I guess Xbox limitations, but people were playing on Xbox Ones then, like, I don't know why they could not optimize it. Whatever. It's fine. All that matters is denizens are a detriment to the player, and it's just annoying to deal with because there's no way to really avoid them if you actually want to explore the map or train in the fog. Now, this one's going to break my heart a little to say because it is on my favorite map on Black Ops 3, but we have Thrashers from Zetsubo no Shima. They don't add a single thing, and they just get in your way more times than not. You could be running around the map, and, you could be in a good setup, and one of these guys will just pop up out of nowhere and, red screen you, and you're effed, man. There's nothing you can do. They have 3 hit points, and they're meat sponges. You can pour your whole freaking clip into them and they won't die at all. And they don't add anything to the map. And yeah, they look cool, but I wish they would at least give you some points. They give you 0. They give you nothing. I just wish Treyarch really implemented the boss better into the map, as I feel like a lot of people would actually enjoy Zetsubo a lot more if the Thrashers were an actually good boss. All right, so next we have not just one boss, but we have 4, and they are the Catalyst Zombies from Black Ops 4. Now, I think there's 4. We have electric, gas, fire, and water. And I'm gonna be real with you, I don't know what water does. Water just does nothing, I think. I don't know. It gets get on the zombies' heads. They get them all blue. I think they're supposed to be stronger, but I don't really notice the difference. Anyway, they're just there, and it really just you have to go out of your way to kill them. They mess up your train, and the electric one, you can't even see on your screen when it hits you. Like, it's just bad. They're bad bosses, and they shouldn't be in all the maps on Black Ops 4 that they are. Like, why do we need them on 9? Like, what? They take way more bullets than an actual zombie does, and they're just like, oh my god, bro. The fire one, it can like damn near kill you if you shoot it and you're training by it. They just get in your way, and with all the other bosses on top of them, like, Gladiators in 9 and the Blight Fathers and the Stokers, they're really just there to be a pain in the ass.
All right, next up on the bad list, we got Carnage. I mean,
this isn't Venom, dude.
Mimic. We got Mimics. Mimics are from Cold War. They don't do anything in any of the maps they're in. You walk up, you think you get a self-res, awesome, bam. You're facing a red boss that holds you real tight for no reason. It's weird. They mess up trains too because they're faster than the zombies. So you have a train all of a sudden out of the side, something spawns and it runs at you and it messes up the whole game. They don't do anything, not that hard to kill. They're just kind of annoying and pretty much useless. I wish they were in just a couple less maps. They're just super overused in Cold War.
So the next boss I picked out in the bad category was Leapers from Die Rise, and not only are they on a terrible map, but I just think that there could have been so many, much more cool additions than Leapers. Like, what is a Leaper? I don't know. Is it a lizard? It's like some crawler that can jump. It's just stupid. They give you a free perk, which is nice, but for the effort that you go through to actually get that perk, it's just like, why are they on the map? I don't understand them. They could have added anything else. Like, literally, they could have added anything else. Parasites would have been a pretty good addition to Die Rise because, I don't know, they fly and you're kind of in the sky. It just doesn't make sense for Leapers. Like, what are they? I still don't even know to this day. I don't think anybody does, to be honest. They're just there to be there, and they do give you max ammo, but they're just like a worse dog, and it's just it's just stupid. I don't get it. I don't understand them. And I just wish that, Die Rise either went the route that Leviathan did, where they could like teleport by you. Like, that's pretty cool. But on Die Rise, they're just vague. They're just like bland. They just sit there, they don't do anything, and they give you a perk.
Put it here now. You're playing Moon. You finally make it, get all your perks, your game's going great. Then suddenly, this big boy comes out of nowhere and gives you a big old hug, and then bam, Jug's gone. Now I have to wait 2 more rounds, go back to Earth, get Jug again, and you come back, you kill him, he's back again, more health, still chasing you, and when you're camping even, you forgot to turn around, you forgot to look 1 second, bam, get hugged again. Without consent, that shouldn't be in the game. It's really annoying because it just follows you and follows you. You have to lose a perk, wait for the cycle, lose a perk, kill him, he comes back. It's not needed. Nobody wants him there.
Now, I enjoy playing 9 as much as the next person, but I gotta be honest, both the Gladiators and 9 they're just terrible. They're terrible bosses. They take so many bullets to get rid of their armor, and they don't give you any rewards. What are they there for? I guess just as ambience to the map, but they're just a tanky boss that doesn't need to really be included at all. And I just think, in my personal opinion, 9 could have done without him, or at least given the player a reward for killing them instead of just nothing. And at the later rounds, especially like during like the 50s and the 40s and the 60s, they just come out of nowhere and they just keep spawning. Like, stop doing that. They just pile up, and boom, you got Gladiators, and there's 6 of them in one pile. Like, it's just stupid. And I guess you could make an argument that the Helion Salvo takes quick work of them, but honestly, if you're trying to enjoy the game and you're not using the Helion Salvo every game, it's like all the other bosses on the list. They're just nuisance. I mean, obviously, the only cool thing about them is that they do fit the map, which I feel like some of these other ones don't, other than like the Astronaut. But other than that, they're just not needed. So, boys, if you're wondering why I dressed up today, well, I didn't go to my junior prom. But you know what? We're making zombies content, so what does it matter? Got the nice tie, the shirt, the pants. This guy's like dressed up as Loki. You just farted. Oh my god. So I hope you guys enjoy, because I am sacrificing my junior prom to make content, but it's all right.
Yeah, no bitch.
They don't have. I also don't have any women, but that's all right. I gotta carry this guy to an Outbreak Easter egg that we couldn't even complete. We trying to shoot the boss for like 10 minutes and it did no damage to him. Some BS.
Get food out of the game 6 times. Lost all my guns.
Cold War's busted. All right, anyway, moving on to the all-right bosses. I'm going to start out off with the Blightfather. Now, the Blightfather comes up on a couple different maps across Black Ops 4, but overall, I don't think he's, that big of an annoyance, and he really only pops up about once every 5 rounds, which is good for the map, and he's a needed boss. Now, he doesn't really give you anything for beating him, but I do definitely think that it's a needed challenge, and the fact that it only comes out, once every 5 rounds, that's really that's nice, and the flow isn't really interrupted by him. You can take him out relatively easy with, either your specialist weapon or a good, wonder weapon or something. But overall, I mean, he's just a good boss. He has a couple attacks. He can reel you in with his tongue, or he can, shoot out spores from his back. But like, the cool thing is, if you shoot all the spores on his back, he actually can't shoot out those orbs that follow you around. And also, if you shoot out his tongue out of his face, he can't also suck you in with his tongue. So that's nice, because I said suck you in. I don't know, it just sounds weird.
You said just time before, he views it into your tongue.
I thought you were gonna laugh at that. But anyway, Blightfathers are, not really an annoyance, but they don't really add anything too special to the game, and they're really just, a nice addition to the game.
So next we got dogs. Well, eventually they kind of got better. They're in the medium category because when they were first introduced at World at War, they were kind of tanky. They were a little bit actually scary. As they moved on, it kind of got a little bit easier. Now they're a lot weaker than they used to be. Another thing, some maps like Die Rise try to switch out the dogs for Leapers. And as we said before, Leapers are just kind of an L boss there. So the dogs, they do give you max ammo, which is great. End of the round, we always need max ammo during the game. They could be better, they could be worse, such as right in the middle.
Now, this is kind of a controversial pick to actually place in medium, but these are the monkeys from Shangri-La and Ascension. I do honestly believe... Whoa. Okay. Well, I guess you're Mexican, so it's fine. But anyway, now, monkeys from Ascension, everybody really hates on, and I don't honestly see why. Monkeys are a good addition to Ascension. Like, they're a needed boss, and while it does interrupt the flow, I feel like it does add a little bit of skill into those mid-round mini-bosses, You actually have to kill them before they take your perks, and especially on Black Ops 3, if you have a perkaholic, that John is gone. Like, you ain't getting no perks back. But at least on Shang, I mean, no one really hates on him because you can actually utilize them to your advantage. Now, well, this isn't like great. You could obviously get like a free perk or a free max ammo or something. You just have to time it right. And sometimes it's hard to time it right if there's a bunch of zombies around you, but other times it's quite easy. You know, you can follow the monkey around and you can kill him at the perfect time, and you could just grab, you know, what power up you need at that time. Overall, I think, you know, the maps that monkeys are on, they really did them right. And even though they are kind of a challenge and might be a little bit annoying at times, they do add a kind of a level of skill to the game that is well needed for, especially Ascension at least. Ascension's way too easy without the monkeys, let's just be real. So now we're going to be focusing on Shangri-La, which, you know, obviously had the monkeys, but it also has kind of a medium boss, in my opinion. Two bosses, actually. We have the Napalm Zombies and the Shrieker Zombies. Now, the Napalm Zombie it's alright, and it can actually be used to your advantage if you're a good player. You can kill it and you can run a train of zombies over it and they will all die, but sometimes, you know, it just gets annoying, especially on the Easter egg step where you have to walk around the whole map without it exploding. Like, that's hard as shit. Now, Screechers are a little bit less annoying in my opinion, as, you know, they just run at you and they're really easy to kill, but they do actually knock back all the zombies, and you can kill them close to you. They don't really do a bunch of damage to you. They're just like kind of a normal zombie, but it's a little bit faster, and it does blind you, but it's not as bad as, like, let's say the electric zombies, the Catalysts from Black Ops 4. Like, those completely blind you. The Screecher, you can still at least see what's going on in the map. I do think that they're, you know, a very great addition. What are you doing? Why are you over here? I do really think that they're a great addition, you know, to Shang, and they really just tie in that aspect of you're in a temple, you know, you got fire, you got Screecher zombies with they're freaking crazy. Like, it fits the aesthetic of Shang, and it's a medium boss, but they're pretty good and they're pretty bad at times. Overall, they can be used to your advantage, and they can also just, you know, be there for no reason.
All right, so next up, we got Mogwais from Cold War. Abominations from Cold War. They're kind of a mid-tier boss. They're super tanky. You have to shoot each head slowly, or you can shoot them in the body, but it takes way longer. They're pretty good, pretty mid-tier boss because they don't show up very often. It's every handful of rounds, and without them, you can just sit and kill the zombies really easily. It's easy to train on that map. It's easy to run away. So having a boss that chases you and shoots like beamers of lightning or whatever they shoot at you, it's good to have them. It was a good addition in the last map to have this new kind of tougher medium boss compared to the other little bosses in that map. They kind of do add a little bit. They kind of don't add much to the Easter egg other than you have to kill one to progress through the whole map. They're kind of mid-tier. They're not the worst. It's kind of nice having them. Otherwise, it'd be like one of the easiest maps there is.
So now going on to a very overused boss, especially on these, you know, later games, we're going with the Manglers. And I'm going to be talking about Gorod Krovi, and then he's going to come in with, you know, Cold War. But for Gorod Krovi, at least, they fit the aesthetic perfectly. It's a Russian Mangler. It has this arm cannon, and it also has, like, what's in the other hand? It just runs at you with a hook. Like, they really fit the aesthetic of the craziness of Gorod Krovi. And, you know, I can really see where the developers were going with the armored zombie. Like, the Soviets, like, developed these things that come and kill you and find you. And I'm pretty sure they're, like, machines almost, because they, like, I don't know, they somehow control the zombie, I'm pretty sure. But Manglers are, like, really interesting on Black Ops 3 at least, and I don't think they should have been implemented in basically every single map on Cold War. And I don't know, and even like Modern Warfare 3 zombies, like, keep them on Black Ops 3, they're fine, like, they're perfect, they fit the aesthetic of a Russian map, but bring them back on like every single Cold War map and, you know, MWZ map. It's just terrible. It's a terrible addition.
Cold War, they're in nearly every single map. The maps with a whole bunch of mini bosses, they just feel like you don't need to add more of them. While they're not that hard to kill, all you have to do is break the armor then kill them. They're way overused, I think. Maybe there's one map that they would fit into, but not all of them. Like I just talked about before, with Forsaken having Abomination and having Mimics and these other mini bosses that kind of feel a bit better with the vibe. Having a Mangler, it just doesn't make much sense. They don't do much. They knock zombies. They kind of just make a mess and too much overused. All right, now the last two actually we got on the alright list are both from Cold War. It's Tempests and Disciples. I'm talking about Tempests first. In most normal maps, the Tempests aren't like the worst to kill or anything. They teleport around. If you get a couple of them, they can be overwhelming and they kind of always hit you. When Tempests really suck the most, it's kind of the open world maps like Outbreak. When, say you're driving a dirt bike to the desert, you get outside of the map, bam, you get shocked by an EMP, then you're cooked. Another one we want to talk about is Disciples. The wizard-looking things that fly up and control all the other zombies. They're not the worst. They're kind of nice to kill, kind of fun to kill. If you kill them when they spawn in, then it's really easy. If you let them have a little bit of time and possess all the zombies, makes the zombie stronger, faster. Especially when you have 2 or 3 disciples and you have 10 stronger zombies running at you, they're just really annoying. But they're not the worst. They're not that hard to kill, especially if you kill them early on. They're kind of a mid-tier zombie, like we said.
Greatness is described as being of ability, quality, or eminence considerably above the normal or average. And when you think of greatness, what comes to mind? I mean, the greatest artist ever is Pitbull, obviously. I know you want me. There's no doubt about that. But when you think of COD Zombies greatness, what do you think of? Origins, you know, we got the Rise and Drag, Shadows of Evil. But when you think of mini bosses, especially the great ones, what comes to mind? For me, the first thing that comes to mind is the Margwas, arguably the best mini boss of all time. First of all, I mean, if you kill them, they give you a part to the greatest wonder weapon of all time. Like who can argue with that? So they're a very well balanced boss. And while some of the, Margwas you can actually insta kill, I do think this actually adds a level of skill. Like if you can insta kill a Margwa, you're pretty good at the game. And if you can't, obviously you have to shoot all 3 heads. And with each head, the Margwa shoots out a parasite, and it also, runs faster and it gets more aggressive towards the player. It has a slam attack. It can just slap you across the face like, you're its bitch. Like Chris Rock. The Panzer fits that aesthetic of Shadows of Evil with, all the Lovecraftian stuff that's going on, the giant squid in the sky. It fits the aesthetic. And while they did bring it back for Revelations, I don't think they really did it justice because, I mean, they did add elemental, Margwas, but it wasn't that great, to be honest with you. Ending it off, I really do think that Margwas are the best boss of all time. There's no doubt about it.
Next up, we got Mega Cunts. The reason why they're kind of part of the great ones list is because, first off, the first one you kill in D Machine gives you a key card, which is part of the Die Shockwave, which is a crazy good wonder weapon for the map that it's in. Another reason is it's a really good and fun challenge. You don't have to kill them once, is to kill them technically 3 times. They throw like this poison at you, and it makes it a good, hard boss to kill. And in a map like D Machine, when you go into the Aether, you also have the red Megatons you have to kill, which technically you can leave them alive and just avoid them. But when you have 2 or 3 coming at you and they're all part of the Easter egg, it's good to learn the story when it's a scientist that's a Megaton that comes back and he's trying to redo damage that others have done to him. They're kind of like the Margwas. They're very well needed mid-round boss needed for D Machine. And the fact this boss specifically has a storyline just makes it so much cooler.
This wouldn't be a list about mini bosses if the Panzer wasn't on it. Now, oh my god, I could kiss the Panzer.
What do you mean by that?
It's just such a good addition, especially on Origins where it first was introduced. Like, bro, you hear that round 8 chime? I'm shaking, bro. I might need to change your underwear after that. Like, that's scary as shit. Especially on BO2 where, the Panzer it's really a tanky boss. And while you can take it down with, regular weapons, Origins on Black Ops 2 really incentivizes you to get a staff at an early round so you can actually take care of the Panzer. Like, it pushes the player to actually progress in the match earlier than they would. And that's just great. They were introduced on Rise and Drag, but they weren't really all that much of a difference other than shooting the shockwaves instead of grappling you in, which I don't know which one I like better. They're kind of like the same thing. It's just a little bit of difference. I gotta say, I do think that the Duration Track ones are more balanced, as if you get reeled in on Black Ops 2 by the Panzer, you're dead, bro. But on, the Horizon Drag, you can get hit by the shock charges, and yeah, while they're a little bit annoying, you can really avoid them, and I'm pretty sure you can shoot them to get rid of them. The Panzer is really just that bitch. As our second to last great boss of the list, we have the Warden from Mob of the Dead and Blood of the Dead, but I'm mainly going to be talking about the one from Mob of the Dead. The Warden, it fits the aesthetic of Mob of the Dead perfectly. Just like, the Margwa fits Shadows of Evil, the Warden fits being in that prison just perfectly. It's a well-needed boss. It fits the aesthetic. It's tanky. You can stop it from locking down perks in, the mystery box, but it will, if you, lead it on the map, it will eventually lock all those places down. And, while I think the price is a little bit too high to, like, unlock them, I'm pretty sure it's 2,000 to unlock each one. It's still a great boss, and it's great to, have that addition to Mob of the Dead. And I'm pretty sure this is one of the biggest things that, Treyarch could have added to any map, as this just ties everything into that. You're in a prison, bro, and you ain't getting out. I also I can't, not talk about this. The warden like talks like an actual human, and while the zombies they're like, Sam, like the warden will be like, come here, and he's like, you're gonna die, like it's just like there's some good ass warden quotes that you can actually pick out if you listen closely. It adds to, the scariness of the map and obviously fits the aesthetic to a T. So now for our last pick in the great bosses category. And this could be controversial because I don't know if you would define this as a mini boss, but I personally would. This is the Witches from Buried.
Baddies.
I'm looking like, well, shit. She got some big ass titties, nigga. I'm gonna fucking look at it. Shoot.
The Witches from Buried are, oh my, they fit the aesthetic, much like all the other bosses in the Great List. They fit the aesthetic of the map, and they're in the witch's house that you have to travel to every time you want to get Pack-a-Punch. Like, it just fits the map. And oh my god, there's so many like cool things you can do with them. You can, if you don't get hit, you don't have to lose any points. You can get a free perk. You can tip the witch, and you can also get a free perk, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's just, they add so much to the map, and even though they're not like a tanky mini boss, I do think that they have to be included in this list if we're talking about, mini bosses. I don't really see a downfall of witches other than they take your points, but that kind of like allows you to slow down and kind of like travel through the mansion of the witch's house, and really pay attention to the details in the witch's house instead of just flying through it every game, So with that being said, that concludes our list of the mini bosses for today.
Wait. One more honorable mention for the bad bosses. My old boss from work.
Thank you guys very much for watching. I missed prom for this, so I hope it's worth it, but obviously, I really do appreciate you guys. We hit 500 subs a little bit ago. We're working our way up. If you haven't, watched the last video, make sure to check it out. It's multiplayer. I think it's a pretty decent video, but this one right here, this is a banger. Obviously, we got our boy Mexican Boy 3636. We did beat an Easter egg with him on D Machine, so if you want to check that video out, I think that's like one of the best videos ever made. But if you guys do want more content dropping, it's coming soon. All right, I try to upload at least twice a week. It's kind of like twice every 10 days, but it's all right. Anyway, without further ado, Linksy Lab out.